Speaker.
I call Dennis O'Rourke.
Mr Speaker, New Zealand First is also very happy to continue to support this bill. We support the intent of the amendments to allow for low alcohol and non-alcohol beer, wine and mead to be displayed in the single area of supermarkets. And for those who are not aware of what the term means, it's the area which in a supermarket where alcohol can be sold, and the intention of that is, of course, to limit shoppers' exposure to alcohol. Now, Mr Speaker, it's just plain silly, in fact, as the current situation is, for low alcohol and non-alcohol beer, wine and mead products to be not permitted to be displayed in that single area. Just plain silly, simply because they don't fall within the definition of alcohol. So Clause 5, which is really the crux of the bill, is very sensible in that it will allow low alcohol or non-alcoholic beer, wine, mead to be displayed, promoted and advertised within that single area. I'd have to disagree a little with my colleague who spoke previously about advertising. There is a need for some advertising in that single area so people simply know what products are, and I don't see any difficulty with that. And the threshold, of course, as to what is alcohol for these purposes and what's not, is that to be non-alcoholic, or low alcohol rather, the product needs to have less than 1.15% ethanol by weight. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is simply this, that it's important that there be some discretion, some flexibility for supermarkets as to where they can place those non-alcohol or low-alcohol products. And that's effectively what the committee has devoted its time and effort to, and has done a good job to tidy up the bill to make sure that that flexibility is there. And it does make sense for these products to be placed in the single area because they are in fact marketed very much like alcoholic drinks, and they are an increasingly popular alternative to the full-strength beers, wines and meads that you see advertised and placed on the shelves for sale in supermarkets. And we do need, as a community, to encourage people to drink those low-alcohol products by making their presence more obvious and to make it more possible, easier for people to find them in the supermarket shelves. So that provides real choice for those people. And Mr Speaker, as a relative teetotaler, in that I probably do, on a gallon-for-gallon basis, drink more tea than whiskey, I do actually approve of that choice. And I think many people would say the same. Let people have a choice when they go into the supermarket as to what they would prefer to drink. And this is just sensible stuff, which I know that we all support. But on the serious side, we in New Zealand First do think that a lot more needs to be done to reduce alcohol consumption in New Zealand. I know that's outside the scope of this bill, so suffice it to say that we think this government will go down as one which has really done not enough to push back against the tide of increased alcohol consumption, especially by young people in New Zealand. We were critical of the main legislation passed 3 years ago, which didn't, we think, go far enough to achieve those ends. However, this is sensible stuff as far as it goes, and it doesn't go very far. We do support it simply because it does provide choice, and it will mean people will have an easy opportunity to choose non-alcohol or low-alcohol products if like me, they tend to be relative teetotalers. So if that's the case, and we know it is, New Zealand First will continue to be very happy to support this bill.
I call